So welcome everybody to tonight's special Channeling Sarah event, our monthly event. I can't remember how many I've done now. Maybe this is the fourth one or something like that. But it's been really lovely to be doing this every month. And it's such a nice way for us to connect with each other as well. And also allows for certain spontaneity to come in as well. And tonight we are going to be experiencing some of the energies that we experienced. Let me just mute everyone. Tonight we're going to be experiencing some of the energies that we experienced on our Sarah retreat. Hi, Elizabeth. It's nice to see you. And if any of you haven't heard of the retreat that we did before, we went to Glastonbury in April, group of us, and that's a picture of Glastonbury Tour behind me. And we were very, very blessed with some beautiful activations. And tonight we're going to be experiencing the Garden of Eden energies, which wasn't planned to be such a big part of the retreat, but Sarah and the land energies decided otherwise, and I'll be talking a little bit more about that as we go along. But for now, let's start off and come into sacred space together. So just close your eyes, take a deep breath. As we invite in Sarah and the Holy Family, Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And of course, if you have connections to Mother Mary or Grandmother Anna, or any of the other connections for you, then bring them in. And we invite in all of our guides and angels, our helping spirits, our heavenly helpers, power animals. All are welcome here, who are working with us for the highest good and the benefit of all beings. All is well. All is well. All is well. We've also had Merlin come in really strongly tonight when I was making my little altar that I have to the side of me. Merlin came in. That was a bit unexpected. So he's here with us. He's here with us as well. So let's come into sacred circle together and imagine that all of us who are present here now and all of you who are watching later on the replay, we're all standing in a beautiful circle of light together. All of us working with this beautiful energy that they're bringing in with us tonight. We're all standing like a circle of divine lights, all connected with each other. And around the outside of us are Sarah's angels. And they radiate a divine white light through us, all the way into the center of the circle. And in the center of the circle, this is where Sarah comes in as a pillar of light, a pillar of green light, a bit like that green in the picture behind me. It's emerald, strong and bright. The color of life and of nature, of the life force. And Sarah comes in and she grounds us right down into the heart of the ascended Gaia and all of the new earth energies that are present on the earth. And at the same time as doing this, Sarah expands us up into the highest heavens, connecting up to our higher selves, our angelic nature, our cosmic nature, and of course, our eternal soul. All is well, all is well, all is well. Grounded and expanded at the same time. And Sarah's lilac violet flame comes into the space all around us. Cleansing and clearing, letting go, releasing everything we no longer need. Blessed be. Amen. Just releasing, just letting go. And it's such a beautiful way for us to connect with each other. So many of us coming from different places around the world. And yet we have this beautiful connection in common of being called in some way to experience these energies of Sarah. I can see a message here from Katerina. Good evening from Germany. Many blessings to all of you. So lovely to be here. So lovely to have all of you here. So I'm going to just tune into Sarah, have my little list of things to do, and see how she wants us to move forward with that. So I'll just go quiet for a moment. And while I do that, just take some really nice deep breaths, just breathing in calm, breathing out anything from your day or week that it will help you to let go of. So straight away, Sarah is bringing in this incredible light of the Garden of Eden. And I'll tell you a little bit about what that means to me, that expression. And I first started to be conscious of this energy about 2 or 3 years ago. So I live in a town called Roskilde in Denmark, and Denmark has some very, very interesting energy lines. I love to work with earth energies. I experience them very vividly and deeply, and yeah, I guess they kind of speak to me, and I get called to certain places and get given jobs, basically. And where I live in Roskilde, there's some beautiful sacred springs. This part of Sjælland, there are large underwater reservoirs that come from the Ice Age, when the glaciers were receding and were melting and all the water was going down through the ground. They got trapped in this massive layer of lime. And that is what is, you know, coming up through all these different springs. There's about 25 different springs I've read in Roskilde, and some of them you can get to and some of them are in people's back gardens. And they all have quite different energies. And that's because of the nature spirits or elementals that are present at these different places where the water is emerging. And that is kind of what makes them sacred springs, because you can find places where the water's coming up and it's lovely, but it doesn't have that extra je ne sais quoi, you know, like this magic. It's the overlighting diva or nature spirit, or being of light, because some of them have, you know, ascended master presences and all sorts going on. And so I've lived here about 10 years now, and I've been asked to do some kind of clearing work and some healing work, and every now and then I gather groups of people together or just go out and work with some friends. And when these things get cleared up, stuff happens. The land starts to shift and change and heal itself. The energy starts to flow in a different way. And there's right in front of the Domkirke in Roskilde. So the Domkirke is a cathedral where there's quite a few of Denmark's kings and queens buried. And of course, it's built on top of where there used to be like burial mounds there and like along the street by the side of it. So it's been a sacred place for a really long time. And there's a park in front of it that goes down towards the fjord. And in this park, I mean, when I sort of first realized what was going on, I was like, wow, I've never quite seen anything like this before. It is just, so they've left a field. And actually, there is a farmer who plants crops in it, but they've left it there, even though, because there's houses and there's parks and things around it, because underneath it, there's medieval streets. So they can't build on it because it's an archaeological site, basically. But you still get this, like, it's not huge, but there's this field like planted on top of it. And energetically, I call it, well, I've called it like Charing Cross. And Charing Cross is Britain's busiest train station, where you have so many different lines coming in and meeting up, and you get off here and you go off there, and it's really like that, because there's so many different like powerful like energy lines coming into it. And there's star gateways, there's goddess points, there's a divine masculine thing over there. And actually, now I come to think of it, yeah, there's a place where there's a really strong Merlin energy in there as well. But to cut a long story short, there is a point that was kind of, I suppose, birthed. I suppose I can't think of another way to say it. A few years ago, after we'd done some work, and we opened up an Arcturian Stargate or portal, or, you know, I'm never quite sure what words are the right words to use, because these are things I experience rather than have read a book about. And in front of it, it was like this Garden of Eden energy matrix. And I was like, oh, okay. Didn't expect that. And so that was, you know, like when I get this information, it's just sort of in my head, like this is the Garden of Eden energy matrix. So it's almost like, yeah, I mean, you could kind of see it as sacred geometry, but it's like a pattern, it's like a program, it's like really like spiritual technology that's like holding this energy. And I made an essence of it, because, you know, I really like making essences of these things. It's really like helpful to like go home and work with them. And so that Garden of Eden energy, if I was trying to put it in to words, it would be like that original blueprint of perfection. I don't love that word perfection, because I'm a bit OCD. And it does not mean that perfection that a certain amount of us like strive towards. And it's not that. It's just the sort of very simple loveliness of how things were always meant to be. And it really felt, and I can't tell you why that came through an Arcturian portal, but it did. And some of you probably know far more about that than me. And yeah, there it was. And then when we went to Glastonbury, there was this lovely circle of apple trees that have been planted down at the bottom of the foot of the tour. And one of the women in our group lives in Glastonbury, and she suggested we did a ceremony in that place, which we did. And afterwards, I mean, I hadn't planned this, but I said, oh my God, you know, we have to just lie here for a bit now. And we were just like completely, I think I can speak for all of us from the feedback that the other women gave. We were really, really just blissed out. And we just lay there for some time and basically received a lot of blueprints, because these blueprints are coming down. It's the new earth, really. And I imagine, so they've popped up here in Roskilde, they've popped up in Glastonbury. I imagine they are going to be popping up more and more and more, and already are, I'm sure, because obviously, you know, there's loads of places on earth I haven't been to. And I'm sure they are popping up in all sorts of places. And I felt really strongly. I was thinking, this came into my head earlier, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to say that. But no, they were like, no, you have to share this. So some years ago, my youngest son, Benji, he's 11 now, be 12 this year. And me and his dad, so I'm 53 now, and I was 41 when I was pregnant with him. And he was my second child. And me and his dad had been together, like, not for a lot of years, but a few years, and we wanted to have a baby, but nothing happened. And then I just thought, oh, that's it, I'm too old. And I forgot about it. And then I remember one evening, I just had this feeling of this beautiful spirit like floating around, and the energy. And I was thinking about this today, and I thought, God, I'd forgotten this. The energy was like the Garden of Eden. It's like this little spirit was in the Garden of Eden with like all these beautiful colours and flowers and plants. And oh God, it was just really, really lovely. Yeah. And oh, I'm just thinking now that I know there's an ancient place that was an oasis out in the desert that had the most beautiful gardens. I can't think. I don't know where that's coming from, but that's really coming into my head as well, whatever that was, if that rings any bells with anybody. But not that many months later, I fell pregnant with Benji, our youngest son, or my youngest son, because he has a half brother, Joshua. But Benji, he has a diagnosis of autism and ADHD. And, you know, there's I can't remember her name. There's a lady who asked me to proofread one of her books, who writes a lot on this subject. And she was very clear on the fact that these children are, you know, our next evolutionary step, basically, for the new earth. And one of the things is with Benji is he's not grounded at all. It's very hard for him to ground. And my sense has really been, it's because the energies that he needs to ground in, they're not here yet. And then I thought today, this hadn't occurred to me, I thought, it's those Garden of Eden energies that needs to come in. So this is a big part. Sarah is so connected to the new earth. So I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm actually going to bring in some of these energies so that you can experience them a little bit as well. So just close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. And I'll just bring Sarah in, and she can lead this. And Sarah is really bringing in her angels now. So it's this beautiful whiter than white energy. And when they come in, they really connect us to our higher selves, to our soul energy, and to our divine spark. So just say to yourself, I'm opening up now to these energies of Sarah's angels, to everything that's for my highest good. If that feels good to you, have that intention that you are opening up to these angelic energies and really kind of letting them in to your heart and soul. And this is kind of the next step for us, to really surrender to the divine in this way. So many people are carrying so much heaviness and burdens, and they don't realize it. And those of us who work with these things in this way, we do know that you can only do this one step at a time, little bit by little bit. And it's all in divine timing. It's all under grace and in a perfect way. And just imagine that you're just almost like lying back onto that feather bed of angelic energy, and just really just letting them hold you up for this short moment in time. Just rest back and know that you are held, mentally, emotionally, energetically. Just surrender just as much as you can. And I have a really amazing symbol here for the Garden of Eden energy. I'm just going to draw that while you just imagine just being held by that beautiful angelic energy of Sarah's angels. And just imagine what the Garden of Eden of energy would look like for you. What would the Garden of Eden look like in your ideal world? And just imagine yourself there. And I'm sending out this Garden of Eden energy to all of you, everyone who's here now, everyone who joins on the replay later. And the Garden of Eden, it's the same energy, but it will look different for each of us. Because we all have our unique vision that exists within us and without of us. And Sarah is around us, holding the space, which makes this possible to happen. And of course there's a bit of a way. before this happens to the whole human race. But that's okay. This is our evolutionary process. It doesn't have to happen overnight. It doesn't mean something's wrong. All is well. But there is a certain amount of releasing and letting go that is happening now and will keep going in the times to come, so that we can fully become this, because this is our divine heritage. This is our divine birthright. I'm just going to spray some of the essence as well. And send that energy out. So these places, these like little pockets of special earth energies that are holding these new earth blueprints of the Garden of Eden energy, they are manifesting them on the earth. They're bringing them powerfully down into the ley lines, the song lines, the dragon lines, all of the earth's energy lines. And in that way, we can tap into that energy so much more instantly. It becomes much, much more tangible. And then we can become walking blueprints as we really deepen our connection to these Garden of Eden energies. We can become walking blueprints for it as well. And just imagine that beautiful light, in whatever way it comes to you, with the Garden of Eden entering in through your crown chakra, down to your brow chakra, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plexus chakra, your sacral chakra, your root chakra, all the way down through your feet, going down underneath your feet, a little way down into your earth star chakra. And from there, it's just rooting itself down into the earth's energy grid. Just beautiful energies. And I'm going to ask Sarah for a channeling now. See what she has to say. Have a little bit more of this spray. So in this spray, I've got the essence from Roskilde and I've got the essence from Glastonbury. And it is just divine. And I'm just sending out all of those energies to all of you as well. So I'll go quiet for a moment, and then when I start speaking again, I'll bring a message from Sarah through for us. Welcome, welcome. I'm Sarah. My joy has been coming through so strongly with these Garden of Eden energies. It is a way for my joy, for the joy of the divine quality, which is so beautiful and so powerful, for the divine beauty, for the quality of trust. Because, of course, in the Garden of Eden, you know you are held in the hands of the divine, Father, Mother, God, the great Mother, the great Father. And through all of the kingdoms of the angelic realms, the plant kingdoms, the animal kingdoms, the stone and crystal people, the nature spirits, the fairies and the elementals, the star beings, all that is, you can have contact with, while at the same time having the experience of being on the earth, of being in a physical body, and knowing that all is well, all is well, all is well. And honestly, for many of you right now, it's enough to have some moments of this and then to have a rest and then to come back again to it and then to have a rest. Because each time you come into it, it activates processes in you. All that is not in accordance with these divine qualities that exist within the Garden of Eden matrix, then start to be cleared from your energy system. And your energy system holds, as you know, the imprints of your ancestors, of your past lives, of the aeons of the earth. And all is well, all is well, all is well. This is a powerful process. This is your power. All of these matrices and blueprints and divine qualities that you can tap into in so many different ways. You can tap into them because they already exist within you. At the center of your being is the divine spark. You are in oneness with the divine. You are one with the divine. You are one with each other. The whole of humanity is one soul, one great oversoul. To just rest back now. Just rest back now. And imagine my flame of oneness coming down. And settling itself in the place where you sit. And this flame of oneness holds the violet flame, the emerald flame, and the white flame. These three aspects come together and become one integrated energy. Just feel that oneness now. Feel that peace. This can act as a counterbalance to that intensity of joy of the Garden of Eden. This oneness flame lets you know that wherever you are and whatever happens to you, all is well. That the peace that you need, whatever is happening around you, can be found by connecting to this energy, which feels perhaps as if it's coming from without of you, but really is just being sparked from the inside of you. This is what you already are. Just spend a few moments now quietly sitting in that flame, breathing into the center of your being, and knowing that this is what you are, saying to yourself, I am this, I am this, I am this. I am this flame of oneness. And all is well. All is well. All is well. I am Sarah, and my blessings are upon you each and every moment of every day. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be, amen. Okay. So if you have something you'd like to share, you're welcome to write it in to the chat. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I'm up to at the moment. So we have summer holidays coming up here in Denmark. The schools break up quite early here. So in a few weeks, my son will be home for the summer. However, I am in the midst of organising, for those of you who would like it, some individual activations of these energies that we experienced when we were in Glastonbury. And those energies were really about connecting to our soul energy, connecting to our divine spark. And yeah, as I said, quite unexpectedly became part of the Garden of Eden. We also worked with Sarah's Violet Flame spiral. She has a etheric temple around the other side, kind of diagonally opposite actually of the tool in the orchard. And all around it, all the time, although they never directly came in, was the lineage of the blue rose. And that is the other thing that I'm going to be doing very much from September, because the registration is now open for the 6-month training for the lineage of the Blue Rose. It started out as a 4-month course, but people kept telling me it was too intense and there was too much to do during that time. So I've elongated it now and put it over a 6-month period. And this will be the 3rd time that I facilitated this class. And the Blue Rose Lineage, Sarah, is the keeper of the Blue Rose Flame. And there's a huge lineage of this energy. And I will be doing a webinar on the 6th of August. Is it the 6th? It's a Sunday. Maybe it's the 4th. No, it's the 4th. All about the Blue Rose. So Katerina just flashed up something. That was wonderful. I can feel the energy of the angels surrounding me. Right now, it feels like it's working on the denser areas within me. Yeah, it's really lovely energy. Melanie says, thank you for this beautiful channeling. Spirit often talks to me with feathers. Yeah. Today, I found 3 feathers joined together tightly at the top. I picked them up and eventually received. They represent me bringing in a 3-fold flame of Sarah. More so, I did, and then was led to drop them in a stream that led to the marsh and then the Savannah River. Wow, that sounds amazing. What I really love about these energies is that they just come in, you know? They just come in and just, I mean, like that Garden of Eden energy. I mean, like, I didn't know that was going to happen on the retreat, and then it just appeared, and there it was, and it's just being spread out by all of us who come into contact with it. Let me just check in with Sarah for a moment. So I have a little video. I'm going to see, it's just a little reel I put together on Instagram of some of the pictures from the retreat. I'm going to see if I can share it with you. Yeah, let me see. It can be a bit tricky sometimes trying to get things to play and share it at the same time. Let me see if I can do it. Can I get? Oh. 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 It's made me go all emotional. It was just so beautiful. Just so beautiful to see those energies again. I'm going to ask anyone who wants to share something to unmute themselves, and I'd love to hear how you found that. Just wave at me. Sue.
I'll share something.
Oh, I think Sue's just going.
Oh, I'm
Cheryl.
sorry.
That's okay. Go on, Sue.
Oh, this just felt really, really wonderful. It's been 21 years since I've been to Glastonbury, so a long time ago. And just earlier on Facebook, somebody sent a lot of current pictures of all the shops there and everything. I thought, oh, how lovely. Yeah, I've just spent nearly 3 months back home in Germany helping my parents, and sadly, my dad passed away during that period.
Mm.
I mean, he had a good age of 98, but still, before I went there, I said to myself, well, you've got to get prepared for the fact that one of them might go soon, and it happened sooner than expected. So I'm back now. I came back on Monday, and I'm still sort of recovering from the whole intensity of that experience, because when I arrived, it became clear they weren't coping anymore where they were living and had to go to a nursing home. And then we sort of persuaded Dad to go there, and he seemed to settle in really well, and a month later, suddenly he was gone, and it's like, wow, and the day before, it was the 9th. The background history is that on the 9th of September 2020, I lost my husband, and I was in Germany at the time, sitting by the Rhine. It was a beautiful day. I looked out on the water, and the sun was reflecting, and I was thinking of him. I had no inkling what message I would get when I got home, you know. So this time, this was also it was on the 9th of May, and I was with a friend, and I said, because my dad was in hospital, and I said, I hope history is not going to repeat itself, but I just have to let go and let God, and whatever will be, will be. And then in the early hours of the next day, on the 10th, bless him, my dad passed away, and yeah, it's just been quite a roller coaster, and there's been some really difficult family dynamics as well, so this couldn't have come at a better time, really, to
Mm.
just recover from from the whole intensity of it, and because I've got chronic health issues as well, which made the whole thing even more strenuous, So bless Sarah, it's just really lovely, and to see the pictures of Glastonbury, and yeah, I want to go back sometime. I'm only in Hampshire, you know what I mean, but it can be difficult to, to travel around to these places, So thank you very much for that. It was wonderful.
You're welcome, and I'm glad that you were able to receive it so beautifully.
Yeah, gosh.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your dad passing.
thank
It's
you.
no, it doesn't. You're not prepared, are you? Even when you know things are going to happen, it doesn't make it any easier losing somebody that
Yeah,
you
no,
love.
and
I
it's
mean,
yeah, and it's always suddenly,
yeah,
because you're not prepared for the suddenness of it. But I know it was a relief to him, and yeah, we had a beautiful ceremony and everything. It's just you're coming back here and no daily phone calls with him, I just got to get used to that. But there you go. Mm.
yes. Oh, Cheryl, you were going to say something.
This energy is different for me. I'm
Mhm.
like right now, what I just experienced, it was almost like I felt like I was rising, but now it's like all around me. It's like a supportive kind of thing that to me, it's ongoing. It's developing. So
Mm.
whatever just happened, it's just it put me in a completely different space. Like it shifted something, and I wasn't expecting that. Really wasn't. And normally I see things like visions and all. I saw just the most beautiful colors of mother of pearl, magenta, green, lime green kept coming through. And then it was almost like that field behind you, it just turned to that green. And I could feel it. Like I didn't see anything, I could just feel it. it was something so different for me. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's lovely to hear, Cheryl. And yeah, I get that same thing. Like it's like a garden of just like these beautiful different colors. And I feel like I know just so little about it, but I'm learning to recognize it now when it sort of pops up. And I'm imagining that this is going to keep growing, like our experience of it. There is going to be more and more of this coming through, that different people will bring it through and different places will bring it through, and that it will just be something that we become more familiar with. Because at the moment, I think I find it a little bit, like Sarah was saying, it's a little bit intense. And then you can rest back in that flame and just go, oh, thank God, because like we are not used to living in the Garden of Eden, are we? Let's, can I say that without a trace of irony? It's really not like living in the Garden of Eden, being on the earth right now. And yet this energy comes in, and it is like it's an earthbound energy. I'm not saying it is not cosmic and heavenly. It is all those things as well, but it's here. It's in the earth energy lines, and it's like, so you can really feel it on that level, on the physical. So it's quite wild, I think. Yeah.
That's how I felt it. This is just the beginning. This is like I'm just getting introduced to it. That's why it feels as though it's just something that's going to grow and grow and grow.
Mm. Yeah,
Wow.
it's cool, isn't it?
It is. Thanks.
Does anybody else like to say anything? Just wave at me. Falcon.
The that was intense. And yeah, how do you even describe that? It was such high frequencies. Joy is such a high frequency, especially when it's the higher levels. They've just got it. To us, it was breaking loose stuff in me that I didn't know needed to go, and I'm like crying, and I'm like, it's all this love and joy, just not used to it. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing to come in, but I think we've hit a turning point, and I really like last night. All right, let me tell you, the kind of dreams I normally have are very symbolic dreams, but it's about yard sales and pencils. It's not beautiful, magical with the third eye and seeing colors. No, it's pencils and yard sales. Some guy at the door you have to deal with. That's the kind of dreams I have. Last night, I dreamt there was a unicorn flying through the air, and it was throwing codes every which way with its horns. And one of them was this beautiful bright blue triangle of light. And it just hung in the air. And of course, blue spirituality and Michael blue, divine masculine and all that. But yeah, that's new. That is totally new. So yeah, we're doing some stuff here. This is not minor. So thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Oh, you're welcome. And that I've written down in big capital letters, turning point. When you said that, I was like, that's it. That's it. Whatever it is, that's it. This does feel like a massive turning point that we're experiencing. And I mean, you were one of the people, Falcon, who was there with us, lying in that like circle of blossom apple trees, and it was beautiful, wasn't it? Lying in those energies, I could have stayed there forever and just not
Seriously,
moved.
I remember saying, I will be a sheep. Let me just stay here so I can just stay here in this energy, happily to be just a sheep in that pasture.
Yeah.
It's a big ring, you guys. It was 25 apple trees.
27. I got Bari to go and count them for me. She wrote them to me the other day.
I must have miscounted. The energy is so intense. It's entirely possible. But it was so wonderful. Yeah, I had to go back up there and just sit in the ring some more.
Yeah. And that's it. And it's so great. Like, I really want to share it with everybody. And then, you know, we get to experience it all over again each time, and to hear, you know, people's, like, what they experience. It like brings, it's all alive again. Like, because unfortunately I can't live in that circle of blossom apple trees, but you know, but we can do this, and you know,
And
that's
it is
amazing.
it is obviously spiraling.
Yeah.
What she said was a spiral, because we're at a higher, this is not exactly the same as it was at this, it's higher or richer. I don't know how to describe energy, really.
No, it's hard to put words on these things that defy language, don't they, really? But and I love that Sarah's part of this. It's like, oh, thank you, you know, like, yeah, I really love it, really love it. Oh, would anybody else like to say something? Just wave at me. Ah, are we good? Are we complete? Ah, so next month, I have a date, July the 7th, and we'll be working with some of the things that came up with Sarah's Violet Flame while we're in Glastonbury, and we'll be bringing in the Lilac Dragons, which is always great. So yeah, lovely to see you all. And just want to say there was 12 of us here tonight. That's rather nice. I love that. Have a nice rest of your day, everybody. Thank you for
And you.
coming.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.